This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Most businesses' online presence is boring, and by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com.
Hey everyone, this is Eric Thomas with Rival Digital, and I am proud to announce that we are the newest sponsor for the Power Women of the Trades podcast. We've been a big fan and supporter of the show for years, and we are just very excited and very honored for the opportunity to now be one of the podcast sponsors. So make sure you check out their page and subscribe to the podcast and listen in on wherever you get your podcast episodes from. Rival Digital is a full-service premier digital marketing agency for the home services industry. We offer everything from website design, search engine optimization, online advertising, public relations, and more. If you're interested in learning more about the services we offer for contractors just like yourself, head on over to rivaldigital.com, and we look forward to chatting with you.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
So what is it like working with your brother?
Whew. It's fun. It
Loaded.
is
It's fun.
We are yin and yang, like we just fit together. We have different perspectives. We have different life experiences. Of course, we have a lot of shared experiences, but he grew up working in the field. He's a licensed electrical contractor. He's worked for our father's business his entire life. And I would say that because we're different and we have different roles, and we're very, very competitive as just people anyway, we have always really, really worked well together. I think it has to do with trust. Like we just have a really deep trust of each other. There are certainly things that we need to meet on when decisions need to be made that are maybe more difficult or mean more, have more depth and value to them. But just knowing that we can lead in this space together on that trust and credibility, and we just had decades of these experiences together. So I truly mean that it's fun. I would say he is my brother. So there are certainly some days where I shut my office door and tell him he can't come near me because he's so annoying. But
Yeah.
I think that that's part of, a family business, right? Like me telling him like, shoo, go away. I don't want to talk today. Today's not the day.
Right.
And we look very much alike. So there was one day, probably a decade ago, and he came into the front office and he just was like joking. He's like, everything about your face is really just making me mad today. And my front desk admin was like, have you looked in the mirror today? Like, you guys just look the same. You've got a beard. That's all the only difference.
It's so funny. That's funny. I can't imagine that, like, doing this type of business with, no, it wouldn't work with my brother, but it's fine. But that same question's asked of us all the time, like, how do I do it with my husband? And it's just like a balance and then understanding. But you do have to have a lot of trust with that person, and you do have to get along and then understand when you need to shut the freaking door and give me a break.
Yeah. And go look in the mirror.
Yeah, and go look in the mirror. I think it's interesting too, the tie of marketing and human resources, because those two go together more often than people think. Like even with Kaylee, she's our director of marketing, but she works a lot with our human resources director because they're doing community events together, hiring events together, those types of things. And I think that they just naturally flow well together. So I think that, you going into that role, you were really set up for a good.
Yeah. I agree too. And I'm glad that I have that background. I would share, so I'm very involved in Merit Shop Trade Association. So we're an open shop company, really, really important to us in New Jersey. I am chair of a task force with IEC National. So that's the Independent Electrical Contractors Association. And our task force is called Women in Power. And it's so cool. We're doing really great things together. There's about 40 of us now that are inside of this community meeting up. And I'm sharing that because there are a dozen women in this Women in Power community at the IEC Trade Association that started in marketing. And now they've got roles like project manager, co-owner, human resources, everything and anything you could think of. And I don't know what I make of that just yet, but the fact that we have such shared backgrounds and experiences coming from the marketing industry, like again, I don't know what I make of that, but it's just it's a fact that I'm starting to see more and more of.
I think I have a perspective of just watching Kaylee. I think so for a long time, marketing was like everybody was going to school for marketing, right? Their degree was marketing, because, and then it was kind of like the joke of like, you didn't know what else to do. So you went into marketing. I kind of think marketing is like the new business degree to some level, because you have some perspective and some understanding of things like much broader than, obviously you've got to have the accounting and financials and all of that with a business, right? But there's a lot to be taught in marketing, and it's evolving every day so quickly. And I just think that just working alongside Kaylee and her she has a marketing degree, and there's things that sometimes I'm just like, girl, and I know she learned that in college,
Yep.
And then it's broadened her ability to be able to do a lot. So
I like that perspective. You've almost kind of answered what I've been thinking about, right? Like what is that connection? But maybe it is the fact that it's a degree that lots of us went to college for when we weren't necessarily sure what else we wanted to do. It's very much like, gosh, I'm going to pause there because I can't remember what it's called, but there is another degree that was really popular when I was going to college, and it was like the what you chose to do when you had no idea what else to do. But it wasn't marketing. Liberal arts. That's it. And so no harm to that degree, but I feel like it's kind of the same.
Know what to do. And when I was in school, now that's not, and please no one with a marketing degree get mad at me. What I mean by that, when I didn't go to college, but when they were prepping me, they were like, well, you could do marketing. And in the 2000s, that was really broad. Like, what did that even mean? We didn't have digital marketing and all these things back then. But then it became so popular of like, okay, well, everyone would do that. And even now, when I was talking to my son, he's 16, and he's like, marketing, mom, everybody does that. And I'm like, you are sleeping on that. Like, because I think they still kind of throw that perspective of, that's kind of just like, you could get your foot in the door anywhere. Well, you could, but you're learning a lot that could help you with a lot, Yeah,
because marketing has a lot of different aspects to it, because you could do digital marketing, you could do sales, you could do all these different avenues. And marketing also sets you up for something bigger too, because marketing is in a lot of different areas, because marketing affects a lot of the business, whether that be getting the phone to ring, the technician in the home, how he's presented, that's marketing. If his shirt's tucked in, if he's greeting the customer, that's a part of marketing. So it affects a lot more than just an advertisement you see.
For sure.
I think that's a great point. And that reminds me about reputation in the community, right? How you show up, how you present yourself, the kinds of conversations you have. What about just answering the phone? How many customers say to us, like, you answered? Yes, our whole business is based on us answering the phone. And so, just that clean uniform, clean shirt, tucked in, talking to a customer in a super nice way, even if you're in a bad mood. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, cleaning up after you're done, leaving the workspace tidy and better than you found it. Like all those things contribute to the marketing aspect.
All of those things. And I would say too, for me, like stepping into leadership young was a very scary thing. Like, dad gave me this responsibilities I really had no idea that I was capable of. I wasn't an electrician, right? I wasn't bidding work. I wasn't doing sales. I wasn't doing any of those things that I thought that were important to make the business run. And I saw no value in the position that he was trying to create for me. And gosh, how wrong I was. Like, how wrong, so wrong.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so like that perspective too. Like there's so many things that are valid in this conversation for us right now.
Yeah.
And I hope that's really the whole point of this podcast is just like talking to people on a regular basis. And you're like, yes, that's valid in my life right now. And I know that our listeners feel the same way when they listen to our show. Like there's a lot of understanding in our space, just communicating with someone else that's doing the same things. And you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
that's
alone.
valid. That's valid. That's
Well,
that's
and I think it's creating this space where women can have these conversations. And it's important that we share our experiences because there's so much support and power in hearing these stories from each other. Because otherwise, sometimes it feels like it's an island of one. Like it's just me and
Mhm.
myself, and nobody else deals with the things that I'm dealing with. And that's a big fat lie. And being able to honor each other and our time together and showing up fully for each other in conversations like this has really just changed my perspective in my own career path and what that looks like for the future for me.
Mhm. For sure. Okay, so what if if your family's business is still thriving in 40 years from now, what do you think you're going to be most proud of?
It's like a hard hitting question.
Uh-huh.
40 years from now. Right now, I'm super proud of carrying on my dad's legacy. And so he's going to be 70 years old in like 3 weeks from now. And just knowing that he gets to sit back and watch the fruit of his labor continue to work and grow and support not just our family, but the family of our staff and of our community. And when I start thinking about what the future looks like for me, it's always just building upon that. And it's what you were saying before, Cassie, like building your company for keeps, not for sale. And
Mhm.
knowing that my brother and I have created that dynamic inside of our own business, like I think that the pride is only going to become stronger from then because hopefully it'll be my children or his that want to step into leadership roles inside of the company. And then it's the continuation of the Esposito's legacy and, the community impact that we have. And just knowing that we employ so many people in our neighborhood that just have great living and gosh, like are able to do all of these things with their family because we support families and we support each other. And I find so much joy in that. So that's probably my long-winded answer. It's all
Yeah.
of the things that I feel right now, but hoping that in 40 years from now, I'll be passing that down to my own children.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal, right? That's the dream. I always tell myself, like, I started this for a reason, and it wasn't, when people start waving dollars at us, right? And it's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, financially, we're fine. And my kids are going to be fine and everything's fine. And like, I didn't need that. We started this to give back to our hometown. We started this to give back to um, our team and to give back to like create something for our family, right? Like
Mhm.
I just can't imagine just being like done, this is not how
Yeah.
I was ever made to operate. And so it's
Well,
been
and I would
really
say
go
I would
ahead.
say that succession planning is such a hot topic too, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
so hard to sit in that and think
Mhm.
without knowing what the future holds in your own children and where they're going to find themselves. Does that make sense the way I'm
Yeah.
explaining it?
Mhm.
Like, there's no way my dad ever thought I was coming back to the company. Like, no way,
Right.
no how. Until I was home and I was on that treadmill and he was convincing me. And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, okay, both my kids are gonna be here. But I don't know. It's the same. It's the community and it's the power in knowing that you're serving. It's that servant leadership style.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you either have that or you don't. And if you don't have that, then maybe you're not made to build a company to last and to
Yeah.
keep, right? I don't
Yeah.
want to say last, but a company to keep.
To
If
keep.
you don't have that in your heart, that servant leadership in your heart, then it probably isn't for you to keep forever. But for those of us that's at the heart and soul of who we are, it makes the only sense for us to keep.
Yep. I would agree 100% on that.
So,
Yeah.
Marissa, it's been really cool talking to you.
Thank you.
I can't believe we've never met, like, cross paths.
Right.
I feel like the industry is so big and then it's so small at the same time. But
Yeah.
then I will meet someone that I'm like, I've never even like heard of you, respectfully. And you have such a cool story. Like, where you been? So I hope
I'm here.
Yeah. Awesome. I hope you start, I'd love to connect you with some of my own network and get you
Great.
out there, and would love to meet you at a conference sometime.
You too. I'm so glad to be here. I love that you reached out and asked me to be a part of this because it just speaks to my soul.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate it, and we hope to catch you sometime soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple, and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.